Welcome to Wrestling with Snipes. Today we'll be reviewing Monday Night Raw for September 9th, 2024. The show kicks off with letting us know it will be commercial free for the first hour. And there's an 8-man street fight between American Made and the Wyatt Six. This match had everything. There was fire extinguishers, there was tables, Rowan was buried under a table and a whole bunch of weapons. Gacy took a massive chair shot. They were beating on Gacy, who had a trash can on him with kendo sticks. Then Nikki Cross hits a crossbody on Ivy on the table, and then Rowan rises. He rips apart the barricade and then uses it. Then Gable trips Rowan into a chair. We see a leg drop off the top rope onto the concrete floor through a table, and then an angle slam from the top rope through a table, and then there's an ankle lock, but he does not tap out. Uncle Howdy jumps in the ring and hits his sister Abigail, and then there's a big splash by Loomis. 1, 2, 3. The Wyatt Six pick up the victory. And next up, Finn Balor comes out all alone, but who is lurking in the back? He says, "It didn't have to be this way. The more I helped you, the more you held me down, Damien. I always had your back. I made sure you were the world champ. But in reality, I should have been the world champ. You're the reason I was never allowed to be the champ because you had that briefcase." Then he calls out Damian Priest, and he doesn't wait long. Out comes Damian Priest. Priest says, "You always run away when we get close." Finn says, "I ain't no sidekick. You and Rhea will fall on the same night," because he challenges Priest to a one-on-one match at Bad Blood. Priest says, "I accept." Priest says, "I wrote the playbook for Judgment Day attacks." Then he hits Balor. Then the Judgment Day attack them. Rhea comes out to make the save, but then Liv attacks Rhea, uses her own crutch against her. Then they beat down the Judgment Day with the crutch until Jey Uso runs out to make the save with a steel chair. In the back, Braun Breaker and Braun Strowman run into each other. They get face to face. Breaker says, "See you around." Then a tag team title match for the women's title as the champs Jade Cargill and Bianca Belair defend against Isla Dawn and Alba Fire. Belair starts off the match very hot, taking it to both of them, tags Jade, who hits a double shoulder block. Both challengers then get body slammed by Jade. 10 forearms to the head by Bianca Belair, a double crossbody by Bianca, but only gets a 2 count. Then the challengers hit a double power bomb and a gory special finisher, but Jade makes the save. Then Jade receives the hot tag. They hit the DDT into a German suplex. 1, 2, 3. Still tag team champion Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill. Next we go to the back and we see the LWO. Dragon Lee says he's ready for Dom tonight. Then the Judgment Day show up. They tell them to shut up and keep their mouth shut. Next, they introduce Bret the Hitman Hart. Bret says this is the place to be, and he said the Canadian champs work the hardest and never duck anyone because they're the best there is, the best there was, and the best there ever will be. But out comes the current heavyweight champion, Gunther. Gunther says, "What a time to be alive. Bret, you were my childhood hero. This is like a passing the torch moment. You are now looking at the best there is and the best there ever will be. You will always be a close second to my real favorite, Bill Goldberg." Oh my goodness. Then Sami Zayn comes out in a Calgary Flames jersey. He says, "Gunther, you've got a lot of nerve saying that in Calgary. Bret Hart is a hero in this city. He's my hero. He's a hero to everyone in the back. I challenged you last week and you said no. Well, Gunther, you and me for the World Heavyweight Championship." And Gunther says no and walks away. And then Bret calls him a gutless yellow coward, which Gunther then turns around on the apron. Sami Zayn gets out of the ring. They go face to face. Gunther still says no, and they get into a beatdown. Sami beats down the heavyweight champion of the world and then celebrates with the Hitman. We go to the back and we see Pete Dunne face to face with Braun Breaker, and Braun says, "Good luck." Then Sheamus attacks Pete Dunne with a shillelagh but misses. The next contest, Dominic Mysterio versus Dragon Lee. They lock up to start the match, but the match doesn't last very long before a Michinoku driver by Dom, and then a brawl breaks out between the Judgment Day and the LWO. Then Liv trips Lee into the ropes. Dominic hits a 619 followed by a frog splash. 1, 2, 3. Dominic picks up the victory. Then in the back we see Jade Cargill and Bianca Belair who run into Damage Control, and Io Sky says, don't get used to having those tag titles. Then we go to the ring where we see a 6-woman tag team match as Pure Fusion Collective against Zelina Vega, Lyra Vicaria, and before they announce the mystery partner, Sonya interrupts. Sonya mocks that they have a mystery partner and says it doesn't matter who it is, I'm gonna win. And out comes Natalya. Zelina starts off with a Hurricane on Zoe. We go to commercial break. We come back from commercial break and they're working on Zelina Vega, a snap suplex, quick tags, cutting off the ring. But then Zelina makes a hot tag to Natalya. Natalya takes out everyone and they end up hitting triple sharpshooters on the Pure Fusion and they tap out. Natalya, Valkyria, and Zelina pick up the victory. Then next out, we have Drew McIntyre. Drew joins the crowd chanting CM Punk. And he says Punk is now a memory. He screwed me out of the title 3 times this year. I pinned him at SummerSlam. He touches 4 corners and he thinks it's over. I made him famous, then I ended his career. Then he says, I'm afraid I've got some bad news for you, Wade Barrett. You're my oldest friend, but last week you tried to step in my way when I was taking out CM Punk. Drew and Wade get face to face. He threatens Wade, and then out comes Adam Pearce. Pearce tells Drew to get in the ring because he's got some news for him. Pearce says, I spoke to CM Punk today, and he ain't done with you, and he ain't done with this feud, because this ends at Bad Blood. Drew McIntyre, CM Punk, one-on-one, Hell in a Cell. The next contest was Rey Mysterio versus Finn Balor. They battle back and forth. Finn hits 10 punches on the turnbuckle, but Rey escapes. Finn jumps to the outside, and Rey hits a crossbody over the top rope as we go to commercial break. Rey then hits a senton off the second rope coming off commercial break. He goes for the 619, but Finn catches him. Finn puts him in a half crab through the ropes. The ref counts to 5, and we have a disqualification. Then as Rey's trying to leave the ring, Finn on the apron hits a running drop kick. Finn walks away gloating about what he's done to Rey. He sees Rey starting to stand on the outside, and he runs and another drop kick, knocking Rey into the ring. Then we go to the back, and we see Jackie Redmond interviewing Ilya Dragunov. Dragunov says he has unfinished business with Braun Breaker. Braun shows up and says, we have no unfinished business. I beat your ass. Then walks by Jey Uso on his way to the ring for the Fatal 4-Way main event. And out comes Jey Uso, who's in the #1 contender Intercontinental title match against Pete Dunne, Ilya Dragunov, and Braun Strowman. All hell breaks loose at the beginning of the match as they brawl all over the place. Braun runs into the barricade, missing Dragunov, and then Jey over the top rope splashes Strowman, taking him out of the match momentarily until he launches Pete Dunne over the top rope. We go to a commercial break, and when we come back from a commercial break, Braun Strowman is shoulder blocking everyone. Then he goes for the freight train, taking out all 3 men outside of the ring. He clears off the announce table, turns around, and Big Bronson Reed splashes Braun Strowman through the announce table. Jey and Ilya meet in the middle of the ring. They have a chop fest. Jey then hits a spear, but Pete Dunne breaks it up, throws Jey outside the ring. 1, 2, kick out. Then Dunne kicks Ilya Dragunov in the head, goes for the pin. 1, 2, Jey breaks it up by super kicking Ilya, hits the big splash on Pete Dunne. 1, 2, 3, Pete Dunne loses. Jey Uso is the #1 contender for the Intercontinental Championship, and Raw goes off the air with Braun Breaker and Jey Uso face to face.